Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the fascinating world of coin collecting, uncover rare finds, and explore the incredible stories behind coins you might already own. Rarest coins today. We're focusing on a coin that looks pretty ordinary at first glance, the 1981 D. Washington quarter. But believe it or not, one version of this coin made headlines when it sold for an astonishing $1.6 million. How can a 25-cent coin from 1981 be worth that much? Let's find out. First, a little history. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American coinage since 1932. It was originally created to honor George Washington's 200th birthday, and it quickly became a beloved design, thanks to John Flanagan's classic portrait on the obverse. For over 60 years, the quarter's design remained consistent, with the eagle on the reverse symbolizing strength and freedom. By 1981, the United States Mint was producing hundreds of millions of quarters every year, and the Denver Mint was responsible for a large share of that output. These coins carry a small D mint mark just below the date, signifying the Denver facility. The 1981 D quarter was no exception, a common coin in circulation, typically worth its face value. So why is one 1981 D quarter worth $1.6 million? The answer lies in a rare minting error combined with exceptional condition and a bit of numismatic mystery. During the 1980s, the Mint was experimenting with different planchets, the metal blanks on which coins are struck. Occasionally, these experiments led to mint errors. In the case of the 1981 D quarter, a very small number were accidentally struck on wrong planchets, or planchets intended for different coins or foreign currencies. This created unique and collectible error coins. One of these error quarters was discovered to have been struck on a planchet with a slightly different metal composition and weight than the standard clad quarter. The coin looked similar but had subtle differences in color and sound when tapped. It was also in near-perfect mint condition, no scratches, no wear, with all details crisp and sharp. On top of this, the coin displayed what collectors call a double die error. This means that during the minting process, the coin's design was impressed twice with slight misalignment, causing the lettering or numbers to appear doubled. These double die errors are highly sought after by collectors because they are rare and visually striking. When this 1981 D quarter with the wrong planchet and double die error was professionally graded, it received one of the highest possible scores. Certified by a leading grading company, its authenticity and condition were beyond question. It went on to sell at auction for a jaw-dropping $1.6 million, making it one of the most valuable modern quarters ever discovered. Now, what does this mean for you? Could you have a rare 1981 D quarter hiding in your coin collection or change? Start by looking at the mint mark. The D should be clear just below the date 1981. Next, inspect the coin's color and weight. A standard quarter weighs about 5.67 grams and has a copper-nickel clad composition. If your quarter looks lighter or has a different tone, or if it weighs more or less than the standard, you might be holding something unusual. Examine the details under magnification. Look for doubling on the date, mint mark, or inscriptions like Liberty and I in God We Trust. Even slight doubling can indicate a valuable double die coin. Condition is key. Coins with sharp detail, full original luster, and no signs of wear will always fetch higher prices. If you believe you have an error coin or a coin in exceptional condition, it's best to submit it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. Their experts can authenticate and grade your coin, potentially confirming its rarity and value. Even if you don't find the million-dollar error version, 1981 D quarters in mint state condition can still be worth more than face value, especially to collectors seeking complete sets. Minor errors like die cracks or off-center strikes can also add value. The story of the 1981 D. Washington quarters shows us that sometimes the coins we think are ordinary are anything but. With the right combination of rarity, condition, and error, even modern coins can become priceless treasures. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell to stay updated on our latest coin discoveries and numismatic stories. Have you ever found a rare coin or a valuable mint error? Share your story in the comments below. We love hearing from fellow collectors. Until next time, keep hunting, keep learning, and keep checking your change. You never know when $1 million coin might cross your path. Let me know if you want me to help with visuals or a condensed version for shorter formats. Welcome back to the channel where we explore rare coins, rarest coins, untold stories of U.S. mint history, and the unbelievable values hiding right in your pocket change. If you're someone who thinks all modern coins are worthless beyond face value, today's video might just change your mind. Because we're about to talk about a seemingly ordinary coin, the 1980 P. Washington quarter, that in one rare case, reportedly sold for an incredible $1.4 million. That's right. A 25-cent coin from 1980, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, reached a seven-figure price tag. How is that even possible? What makes this quarter so rare? Could you have one of these coins in your own collection without even knowing it? Stick around, because the answers might surprise you. Let's start with a little background. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932, originally intended as a one-year commemorative to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. But due to the popularity of the design and the ongoing need for coins during the Great Depression, it became a permanent part of U.S. coinage. The obverse, designed by John Flanagan, features a left-facing bust of George Washington. For many decades, the reverse showed a majestic eagle with wings outstretched, a symbol of American strength. By the time 1980 rolled around, the Washington quarter design had been unchanged for nearly 50 years. The quarter minted that year at the Philadelphia Mint carries a small P mint mark, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. And here's where we hit the first interesting detail. 1980 was the first year that Philadelphia quarters actually featured a P mint mark. Before then, Philadelphia coins had no mint mark at all. That change alone makes the 1980 P quarter a significant moment in numismatic history. Now, as far as mintage numbers go, the 1980 P quarter isn't rare at all. The U.S. Mint struck well over 600 million of them that year. You can still find them in circulation. Most are only worth their face value. But as is often the case in the world of coin collecting, value doesn't just come from rarity. It comes from condition, errors, and unexpected minting anomalies. And that brings us to the million-dollar version of the 1980 P. Washington quarter. The story involves an extremely rare mint error, one that was likely produced due to a combination of human mistake and mechanical failure at the Philadelphia Mint. A small number of 1980 P quarters were discovered to have been struck on experimental planchets, test metal blanks that were never intended to be used for circulation coins. These planchets were different in both composition and weight, possibly left over from foreign coin contracts or experimental production runs at the U.S. Mint. One of these error coins was discovered in near-perfect condition with a flawless strike, full mint luster, and no signs of circulation. When submitted for grading, it earned one of the highest mint state grades ever given to a coin of its type. But what made it even more fascinating was the material. It was not copper-nickel clad like regular quarters. Instead, it appeared to be struck on a pure nickel planchet, creating a lighter color and a sharper ring when tapped. Collectors immediately took notice. The combination of a transitional or experimental planchet, paired with an iconic coin from the early modern era, created a storm of interest. The coin was certified as authentic by a leading third-party grader and eventually found its way into a high-end auction. The final sale price? A jaw-dropping $1.4 million. Now, you're probably wondering, could I have a rare 1980 P quarter in my collection? And the answer is maybe. Here's what to look for. Start by checking for the P mint mark. It should be located just to the right of Washington's hair ribbon. Then, look closely at the color and texture of the coin. If the coin seems unusually silver in tone or has an odd surface finish, it could be struck on the wrong metal. Weighing the coin is also a smart move. A standard 1980 P quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If your coin weighs significantly more or less, that could point to an error planchet. Next, look at the edges. A normal quarter should have reeded or ridged edges with a visible copper layer when viewed from the side. If your quarter looks silver all the way through with no copper showing, that's another major red flag that you might be holding something unusual. And of course, check for other errors. Double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, and clipped planchets can all increase the value of your coin. Combine any of those with pristine mint condition, and you're looking at a potentially valuable find. If you think you've got something rare, don't clean it, don't handle it more than you have to, and don't guess. Get it graded. Reach out to a top-tier grading service like PCGS or NGC. Their experts can confirm what you found and tell you just how rare and valuable your coin really is. The 1980 P. Washington quarter reminds us that even coins minted in recent decades can hold surprising value. Whether it's because of mint errors, transitional planchets, or one-in-a-million strikes, there's still treasure to be found in the most unexpected places. So check your change, go through your old coin rolls, and keep an eye out for anything that looks just a little different. You never know, that quarter in your hand might just be worth over $1 million. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more rare coin stories, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss the next big discovery. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or have a story to share. Until next time, keep collecting, stay curious, and keep checking your change, because the next $1 million coin might be right under your nose. Let me know if you'd like this converted into a blog post, podcast script, or shorter form for TikTok, Instagram Reels, or YouTube Shorts. Welcome back to the channel where we explore the fascinating world of coin collecting, rare finds, and the surprising values of everyday change, rarest coins. If you enjoy uncovering hidden treasures that might be sitting right in your pocket, then you're in the right place. In today's video, we're talking about the 1983 D Washington quarter, a coin that, for most people, looks like just another quarter. But one rare version of this coin shocked collectors when it was reportedly valued at an astonishing $1.5 million. That's right, a 25-cent piece worth more than a luxury home. So what makes the 1983 D quarter so special? And could you have one sitting in your coin jar right now? Let's dive in and find out. To understand the value of the 1983 D quarter, we need to take a quick look at the history behind the Washington quarter itself. The Washington quarter was first released in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. The obverse design, created by John Flanagan, features Washington's portrait and remained mostly unchanged for decades. The reverse side, featuring an eagle with outstretched wings, was a classic American symbol until the design was changed in 1999 with the launch of the 50-state quarters program. Now, let's jump forward to 1983. This was a very unusual time for the U.S. Mint. Just a year earlier, in 1982, the Mint stopped producing uncirculated coin sets for the general public due to budget cuts and high production costs. That meant in 1983, the only way for people to get quarters was through circulation, by actually using and spending them. No collector sets were made available. So if you wanted a brand new 1983 D quarter in mint condition, you would have had to find one in pocket change and hope it had never been touched. Because of this, high-grade 1983 D quarters are much harder to find than quarters from other years. Most of them were used, spent, and worn down before anyone thought to save them. That's the first reason why this coin can be valuable: scarcity in uncirculated condition. But the story doesn't stop there. What really sets the 1983 D quarter apart is the existence of a few major mint errors, and one specific error coin that reportedly sold for as much as $1.5 million. So let's talk about what happened. One particular 1983 D quarter was struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination. This is called a wrong planchet error. In this case, the coin was mistakenly struck on a copper-nickel planchet intended for a foreign coin, creating a completely unexpected weight and appearance. The design was fully struck, but the coin had a slightly different diameter and composition, setting it apart from normal quarters. But that's not all. The same coin also displayed strong doubling in the lettering and numbers, a rare double die error that adds incredible value in the world of numismatics. The condition of the coin was also nearly perfect. It showed no signs of wear and had full mint luster. This perfect storm of factors, wrong planchet, double die, pristine condition, and the general scarcity of high-grade 1983 D quarters made this coin a numismatic legend. When the coin was certified and graded by a top-tier grading company, it received an extremely high grade, further driving up its value. It was eventually offered at a private auction, where collectors with deep pockets competed to own one of the rarest modern U.S. coins ever discovered. The final reported sale price? $1.5 million. Oh, how do you know if you have a valuable 1983 D quarter? First, check the mint mark. A small D to the right of Washington's ponytail means it was struck at the Denver Mint. Then, examine the coin closely for signs of errors. Look for doubling in the lettering of Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, or the date. You'll need a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to do this properly. Next, weigh the coin. A standard 1983 D quarter should weigh around 5.67 grams. If your coin weighs significantly more or less, It could be a sign that it was struck on the wrong planchet. Also, check the coin's edge. If it appears smooth instead of reeded, or if it has an unusual color or texture, that's another potential clue that your coin is not ordinary. And finally, condition matters. A coin with sharp details, no scratches, and full luster is worth far more than a heavily circulated one. If you think you have something special, your best move is to submit the coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate and grade the coin, giving you a reliable assessment of its value. Even if you don't find the million-dollar version, 1983, D quarters are still worth looking out for. High-grade examples can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, especially in mint state condition. And minor mint errors, like die cracks, off-center strikes, or partial collars, can also increase the value significantly. The 1983 D Washington quarter proves one thing. Valuable coins don't always have to be old. Sometimes, modern coins with just the right mix of rarity, condition, and error can become legendary. The key is knowing what to look for and always keeping your eyes open when going through your change. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, valuable errors, and how to spot treasure in your pocket change, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. Have you ever found a rare coin? Tell us in the comments. We love hearing your stories. Until next time, keep collecting, keep learning, and remember, the next million-dollar coin might be hiding in plain sight. Let me know if you'd like a shorter script for TikTok or Instagram, or if you'd like visuals or slides outlined to match this for a full YouTube production. Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the stories behind the coins in your pocket and reveal how everyday change can sometimes turn into extraordinary treasure, rarest coins. Today, we're taking a deep dive into one of the most surprising coins of the late 1990s, the 1998 P. Washington quarter. Most people wouldn't think twice about a quarter from the 90s. But what if I told you that one of these coins reportedly sold for an incredible $1.2 million? That's right, a 25-cent piece, worth more than a house. Let's find out how that happened and how you might spot one of these rare coins yourself. First, let's go back to the basics. The Washington quarter has been in circulation since 1932. It was introduced to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, and the original design featured a left-facing bust of Washington on the front, designed by sculptor John Flanagan. This design remained largely unchanged for decades, with the eagle on the reverse staying in place until the launch of the 50-state quarters program in 1999. That makes the 1998 Washington quarter especially important. It was the final year of the traditional eagle reverse before the U.S. Mint launched one of the most ambitious coin programs in American history, the state quarters. So while 1998 may not seem significant at first glance, it actually marked the end of an era in U.S. coinage. The Philadelphia Mint struck hundreds of millions of quarters in 1998. And these coins bear the P Mint mark just to the right of Washington's ponytail. Most of these quarters are still in circulation today and are only worth face value. Even uncirculated examples or proof-like coins from that year tend to sell for just a few dollars. So what makes one of them worth over $1 million? The answer lies in a rare mint error, combined with pristine condition and a little bit of mystery. One particular 1998 P quarter made headlines when it was discovered to be a mule error coin, a coin that was struck using mismatched dies from different coin types. In this case, the obverse was the standard Washington quarter design from 1998, but the reverse was not the eagle. Instead, it had the reverse design of a Susan B. Anthony dollar. This kind of error should be impossible under normal mint procedures. Coins are struck using specific dies that are matched to a specific denomination. A quarter obverse paired with a dollar reverse simply should not happen. But somehow, during production at the Philadelphia Mint, the wrong reverse die was loaded into the press. A small number of these error coins were struck before the mistake was caught. One of these 1998 P Mule error quarters was authenticated by professional grading services and eventually sold through a private auction for a reported $1.2 million. The coin was in near-perfect condition, with full luster, razor-sharp details, and no signs of circulation. It was not just rare, it was unique. And collectors around the world took notice. So how do you know if you have something valuable? Here's what to look for. First, check the date, 1998. Then look for the P Mint mark on the front. Flip the coin over. If you see the eagle on the reverse, it's most likely a regular issue. But if the reverse doesn't match the standard quarter design, if it shows anything resembling the Susan B. Anthony dollar with its distinctive layout, then you may be looking at a rare mule error. Now, even if you don't find the $1,000,000 mule, 1998 P quarters can still hold value in other ways. Some have been found with strong double die errors, where the lettering or numbers appear doubled due to a die misalignment. Others may show off center strikes, clipped planchets, or die cracks, all of which are types of mint errors that collectors are willing to pay good money for. Coins with full original luster and no signs of wear, known as mint state coins, are also desirable, especially if they grade high on the 70-point scale used by PCGS and NGC. A 1998 P quarter graded MS68 or higher can sell for hundreds, even thousands, if it has the right eye appeal and scarcity. If you suspect you have something special, don't clean the coin. Cleaning can reduce its value dramatically. Instead, handle it carefully, place it in a protective holder, and consider sending it to a professional grading service for evaluation. Even minor errors can lead to major paydays in today's collector market. The 1998 P Washington quarter reminds us that incredible coin finds are not always old. Sometimes they're recent. Sometimes they're sitting in your change jar or hiding in a drawer. All it takes is one rare mistake, one unexpected anomaly, and that everyday coin can become a legend worth over $1,000,000. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want more stories about rare coins, valuable errors, and the hidden treasures you can still find today, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Got any rare coins in your collection? Let us know in the comments below, and tell us which coin you want us to explore next. Until next time, keep collecting, keep learning, and most of all, keep checking your change. That next $1,000,000 coin could be in your hand right now. Let me know if you'd like a shorter version of this for Instagram or TikTok, or a blog post version for a website. I can also help you outline visuals or voiceover tips to match the script for full video production. Welcome back to the channel where we break down the value behind the coins in your pocket, rarest coins, uncover rare finds, and explore how everyday change can sometimes turn into a serious payday. Today, we're diving into the world of modern coinage with a coin that's caught the attention of collectors, dealers, and even everyday folks just learning about the hobby. That coin is the 2021 P Washington quarter. Now you might be asking, how could a coin minted just a few years ago already be worth over $1,000,000? Is it even possible for something that common to carry that kind of value? The answer is yes, but only under the right circumstances. Today, we'll take a look at the history of the 2021 quarter, why it's different from earlier versions, and how one rare error turned a 25-cent coin into a $1.1 million collector's prize. Let's start with the basics. The Washington quarter has been a mainstay of U.S. currency since 1932. For decades, it carried a familiar design, George Washington on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. That changed in 1999 with the launch of the 50-state quarters program. After that came the America the Beautiful series. And in 2021, the Mint introduced a transitional design moment, one that marked the end of the America the Beautiful series and the beginning of a new era. The 2021 Washington quarter features George Washington on the obverse. But this time the design was created by artist Laura Garden Fraser, who had originally designed a Washington portrait back in 1931. Her design was passed over back then in favor of John Flanagan version, but in 2021, her work was finally brought to life. That alone made the coin historically significant. The reverse of the 2021 quarter is even more special. It honors Tuskegee Airmen National Historic Site in Alabama, commemorating the legendary African-American fighter pilots of World War II. This was the final release in the America the Beautiful series. Coins minted in Philadelphia carry the P Mint mark and were widely distributed across the eastern United States. Now, in general, a 2021 P quarter is not rare. In fact, millions were produced. Most are still in circulation and worth their face value of 25 cents. Even mint state versions in uncirculated condition sell for just a few dollars. But what really drives the value of any modern coin into the stratosphere is one thing, a major mint error. And that brings us to the legendary example of the 2021 P Washington quarter that reportedly sold for over $1.1 million. This coin wasn't valuable because it was old or shiny or historically important. It was valuable because it had a unique double strike error on a transitional planchet, something never seen before in this design series. Here's what happened. A planchet meant for a different denomination, most likely a nickel, somehow ended up in the quarter press. Not only that, but the coin was struck twice, resulting in a rare double image, with both impressions being crisp and visible. This is called a dramatic double strike. Most double strikes are messy or misaligned, but this one was sharp, clear, and incredibly rare. Once this coin was discovered and authenticated by a top grading company, it was assigned a very high grade, close to perfect, and labeled as a unique transitional error. That combination of rarity, condition, and historical context made it irresistible to top-level collectors. It was placed into a private auction, where it sparked a bidding war, and finally sold for an astonishing $1.10 million. So how can you tell if you're holding something valuable? First, look at the mint mark. AP just below Washington's ponytail indicates it was minted in Philadelphia. Then check for signs of an error. Look for doubling in the lettering or on Washington's profile. Examine the coin for any off-center strike, planchet errors, or misaligned dies. Weighing the coin can also reveal surprises. A standard 2021 quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If it weighs significantly less or more, it might have been struck on the wrong type of metal blank. Color can be another clue. If the coin has a silvery tone but doesn't match the usual copper-nickel appearance, or if it appears darker or lighter than normal, you might be looking at a planchet error. Use a magnifier or jeweler's loupe to closely examine every detail of the coin. Now, here's the most important step. If you suspect that your coin might be an error or something unusual, do not clean it. Cleaning a coin can reduce its value significantly. Instead, contact a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can authenticate the coin, grade it, and confirm whether it's truly something rare and valuable. Even if you don't find the $1 million version, 2021 P quarters with minor errors can still be worth money. Coins with off-center strikes, die cracks, or small areas of doubling can sell for anywhere from $50 to a few $100s depending on condition. And high-grade, uncirculated coins pulled straight from rolls can sell for a premium if they have flawless surfaces. So, what's the lesson here? The 2021 P Washington quarter proves that you don't need to go back a century to find valuable coins. Sometimes, all it takes is a sharp eye and a little knowledge to spot something extraordinary in your everyday change. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned collector, it always pays to take a second look at the coins you're holding. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want more deep dives into rare coins, hidden values, and incredible auction stories, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload. Have you ever found a 2021 quarter with an error? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, keep collecting, keep learning, and keep checking your change, because your next coin could be worth over $1 million. Let me know if you'd like this tailored for short-form video platforms, adapted into a blog article, or outlined with visuals for full YouTube video production. Welcome back to the channel where we uncover hidden gems in the world of coin collecting, reveal surprising values of everyday change, and dive deep into the fascinating history of American currency. Today, we're spotlighting a coin you've probably seen or even spent without a second thought, the 1990 D Washington quarter. It looks ordinary. It feels ordinary. But there's one version of this coin that stunned collectors when it was reportedly valued at over $1.3 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single quarter, worth more than a luxury home. Let's explore what makes this coin so special, how it reached that incredible value, and how you might be able to spot one of these rare treasures for yourself. Let's begin with a little background. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, it featured a left-facing portrait of Washington on the obverse, and for decades, an eagle on the reverse. This design became a staple of U.S. coinage and ran for over 65 years, until it was replaced by the state quarters program in 1999. Now, fast forward to 1990. That year, quarters were minted at both the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. The ones from Denver feature a small D mint mark on the obverse, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. Hundreds of millions of 1990 D quarters were struck, and most are still in circulation today. In general, they're common. A well-worn example is still worth just 25 cents. Even a clean, uncirculated 1990 D quarter might bring in a few dollars to a collector. So what could possibly make one of these coins worth over $1 million? As always in the world of rare coins, it comes down to a rare combination of mint error and condition. Specifically, an error so rare it was never meant to exist. The coin in question was a 1990 D quarter that was struck on a bronze planchet, which is a blank disc intended for a penny. This is extremely unusual. By 1990, the U.S. Mint had fully transitioned to using copper-plated zinc planchets for pennies and a copper-nickel-clad composition for quarters. A bronze planchet, like those used in pre-1982 pennies, should have never been anywhere near the quarter dice. But due to a rare mint error, one of these bronze penny planchets was mistakenly fed into a quarter press at the Denver Mint. Instead of producing a standard 5.67-gram clad quarter, the machine struck a 3.11-gram quarter on a bronze disc, resulting in a coin with a completely different weight, color, and feel. This coin didn't just have the wrong metal. It had razor-sharp details, full mint luster, and flawless surfaces, making it a dream find for error coin collectors. When it was eventually authenticated by a top grading service, it was labeled as one of the rarest and most perfectly preserved mint errors in U.S. history. When it went to auction, collectors and investors were stunned. With its unique blend of historical significance, eye appeal, and extreme rarity, it sold for a jaw-dropping $1.30 million. Now, here's the part where you should pay close attention. Because coins like this are still turning up in private collections, old coin jars, and even estate sales. So how do you know if you have a valuable 1990 D quarter? First, check the mint mark. Look for the D on the right side of Washington's ponytail. Then, weigh the coin. A standard 1990 D quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If your coin weighs significantly less, around 3.1 grams, you might be holding a quarter struck on a penny planchet. Next, examine the edge. A normal quarter will have a reeded or ridged edge and a visible copper core when viewed from the side. If your coin has a smooth edge or appears to be solid bronze all the way through, that's another major clue that something is off. Finally, look at the color. Bronze planchets have a darker, richer tone than the shiny silver color of a regular quarter. If your 1990 D quarter has a brownish or reddish tint like a penny, you could be onto something truly valuable. If you find a coin that checks these boxes, do not clean it and do not attempt to alter it in any way. Your next step should be professional authentication and grading. Contact a top-tier grading service like PCGS or NGC, who can examine the coin and determine its authenticity and value. Even if your coin isn't the exact million-dollar version, any major mint error in excellent condition can still be worth thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, of dollars. So what's the takeaway here? Sometimes, the most valuable coins are the ones that look the most normal. A slight difference in weight, a mint error, or a rare composition can turn a 25-cent piece into a seven-figure treasure. The 1990 D quarter is a perfect example of why it's always worth checking your change. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful or fascinating, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe for more coin stories, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next big discovery. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare quarter, or let me know what coin you want us to talk about next. Until next time, keep your eyes open, your magnifier handy, and your coin jars close, because you never know when the next million-dollar quarter might turn up in your own collection. Let me know if you want this adapted into a shorter version for Instagram or TikTok, turned into a blog post, or if you'd like visuals or graphics outlined for full video production.